about brain health and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But it's all about weight loss, getting into shape, and it's the same diet you would use to prevent heart disease and brain disease, but also get back into shape.
Well, we're starting this 40 days, and today's the kickoff day.
Today is the day, and people are already signing on.
Wonderful. Now, look, I read this book. I must say I read and reread it because it's a very interesting book. You start off with a chronicle of the incredible numbers of diseases that are caused by improper diet. Could you give us a litany of some of the horrible things?
Well, basically, any disease that has a vowel in its name is suspect, but we do know that there's a strong dietary relationship between what you eat and things like obesity, and that doesn't take much thinking.
Sure.
But yes, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. These are related to the process of inflammation. That's the cornerstone.
Okay.
And we now understand that inflammation has its beginnings in the gut. And I thought it was really interesting your discussion earlier with Paul Ryan because of this intense fever pitch debate going on about the previous healthcare plan versus the proposals and the revision. And, you know, frankly, these plans have nothing to do with health. It's all about what to do when you're sick or you have an accident. And I would submit that the right thing to do from a moral perspective is to help people be healthy, and from an economic perspective.
Well, that's the way the Chinese used to. They paid their doctors when they were healthy, and they didn't pay them when they were sick. Is that the idea?
That's right, and that's well said. So this is an exciting 8-week challenge, and on the website we have a robust number of assets, what to eat, why you want to avoid artificial sweeteners of all things. I mean, all these years we were told, well, you drink sugarless this and that, and you're going to lose weight. Doesn't work that way. When you drink artificially sweetened beverages, you change your gut bacteria, and your gut bacteria, you and I have had this discussion a couple times, think that you're starving and hold on to every calorie and you gain weight.
It's little microbes in the trillions in your gut. Is that right?
That's right. 100 trillion in your gut.
Trillion?
That's right.
Little things in there.
Give or take a few.
Give or take a few trillion. All right. Talk to us about the stuff they put in bread called gluten, because most of us just don't know gluten. I mean, gluten is kind of like bread, but it's not.
Well, gluten is a protein. I don't think it's not.
It's a protein.
It's a protein.
Yeah.
And you know, the real issue with gluten is that ultimately it increases what we've talked about, inflammation. Again, the cornerstone of gaining weight, of developing some serious and at times illnesses for which we have no treatment. And this is all about prevention. It's all about the outreach that we are now doing over the next 8 weeks. This information is all on the CBN website. So
can you get bread that doesn't have any gluten?
Sure you can. You can have bread made from rice, for example, and other things, other grains that don't contain gluten.
What does gluten do to you? You get gluten in your gut. What does it do?
Well, what the new research from Harvard has indicated is one component of the gluten is called gliadin. And gliadin increases the leakiness of the gut. And that's step one for increasing inflammation, which then opens the door to not good things. And
well, now you mentioned Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease. What are the others?
Well, primarily obesity, but even cancer itself is now looked upon as being an inflammatory disorder. So the other thing I wanted to mention about the program is this is a real community event, because people are going to be recording their weight loss every week.
Now you've got this across the country. I mean,
well, this is globally, actually.
Globally,
and people are going to be recording as they sign on each week. They'll record their weight loss. So it's a group effort, and we're gonna see over the next couple of months how many.
Why do you lose weight with your diet? Why will it lose weight?
Well, basically because we're getting rid of the carbs and we're getting rid of the sugar.
Okay.
And we're welcoming fat back to the table.
So much of this, low fat, low fat yogurt loaded with sugar.
Right, exactly right.
They wrong, huh?
You get this. You've always got this.
Yeah.
And that's the mission here, is to really spread the word that we were sold a bill of goods over about 30 years ago that we realize now, as per a recent publication in Journal of the American Medical Association, front page of the New York Times, that the reason doctors were parroting this low fat was because of the sugar industry influencing the data that was reported in the late 1960s, and that stuck like glue.
The sugar, they were influencing?
Oh, that was on the front page of the New York Times. It was a big, big story.
Well, I remember they threw out cyclamates, which was a type of sweetener. But you say that, for example, sweet and low and these other things, they'll mess your gut up?
They will, and we've seen the data that shows a dramatic increased risk for weight gain and even doubling of the risk of type 2 diabetes in people that are consuming these artificial sweeteners. We never understood why that was.
Why?
Great question. And the reason is, now we see from research that has come out of Israel that it's because of what it does, again, to the gut bacteria. So it changes the gut bacteria, and they begin to think that we're starving, and they make us retain calories and build fat.
Well, so many people, I know one particular person who I will not name, who used to drink 2 or 3 diet drinks, start off the day drinking a diet soda and thinking they were doing it, and continue to get to be obese.
That's right. We all know people who drink liters of these diet sodas and continue to gain weight. And it's so unfortunate, because in their minds, they believe they're doing the right thing. Because face it, they're drinking no calories, no sugar. What could be wrong with that? Well, look at the data. The data shows a dramatic increased risk for both weight gain and diabetes. My fixation on diabetes, if it is a fixation, is because when you become a type 2 diabetic, you have quadrupled your risk for Alzheimer's disease, a disease for which there is no treatment.
Quadruple the risk if you have type 2 diabetes.
That's right, and it's been estimated that as many as 100 million Americans are pre-diabetic and going to ultimately develop diabetes.
Interesting, in your book you also talked about the social aspects of health, that somehow people who have a healthy marriage or a healthy family or have a social support group were much less likely to get sick. Tell us about that.
That's right, and that's what the data has told us, that connection and enjoyment of life. And I really talked about that as being one important pillar. But the other important pillar was gratitude. Mm-hmm. And I'm very open about an experience I had in my life not too long ago.
What was that?
I had lost a very close friend, mm-hmm. and the next day I went into atrial fibrillation.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital in the intensive care unit, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was, on the monitor, no heartbeat. I was flatlined. And it was a moment, as you can only imagine. Sure. Fortunately, I realized, I thought, well, either this is it, or I'm dreaming. I realized I wasn't dreaming. I said, there's only one other explanation. Maybe one of the heart leads came off, mm-hmm. and I traced them out and put it back on my chest, and the heartbeat was there, and I was okay, obviously.
You're alive.
And then the good news was full evaluation of my heart showed that my heart is strong and I'm fine, but it was really a broken heart, that loss of my closest friend, that really had that effect upon me. So I was very grateful for the care I received.
Also, the Bible said it's more blessed to give than to receive, and you found that giving sets up something in the body that makes you healthy.
That's what that whole chapter is about. It's expressing gratitude on a daily basis, and we sure need more of that. I mean, I don't know how that relates to the theme of our discussion today, but reality is, I think it has a very powerful role.
It's in your book. All right, this challenge, I want to repeat again. What do you want people to do? You want them to sign up today? Where do they sign? How do they get involved?
They just go to the CBN website.
CBN website.
And this is an exciting challenge. They will sign up, and we're asking, all people need to do is, it's on the screen now, is just record their weight loss every week. We're giving away books. We're giving away a Fitbit every week. Mm-hmm. We're giving away my previous programs and lots of great assets. It's all about, reestablishing a connection with knowing what to eat, not counting calories anymore, not some points of foods that you eat or don't eat, but it's about learning what you should be eating and really reestablishing a sense of eating when you're hungry, Who knew? I mean, I asked people, when was the last time you were hungry?
You're talking about fruit, vegetables. You're talking about avoiding sweets, high carb, white flour.
It's true, and really, I think one of the other points of discussion that's so oftentimes omitted is the critical importance of eating high fiber foods.
Right.
We've all known that fiber is good for your gut. People have been talking about that for years. But now we know that the fiber we eat is nurturing the gut bacteria. That's what they eat to make all the wonderful chemicals, the B vitamins, the brain chemistry that is made in our gut. So it is, it's a little bit compelling, but we've done our very best to make this simple and the broad strokes.
Amazing. One last thing, there's so many things in this book, ladies and gentlemen, it's fascinating, but when you go to the dentist, and the dentist wants to take a tooth out, immediately they hit you with a dose of antibiotics. I mean, it's just common, like giving you aspirin. And you take those things, and according to your research, that kills your gut bacteria.
It imparts a change on the gut bacteria that is lifelong. I want to be very clear. There is a time and a place for antibiotics.
Yeah.
They are life-saving. But for example, people who've had a hip replacement are told that every time they go to the dentist and have their teeth cleaned, they have to take a course of antibiotics. The science, the peer-reviewed medical literature does not support that at all. So again, there's a time to take an antibiotic, but we really need to take a step back.
You say if you take them, it'll kill those gut bacteria permanently?
The changes in the array of bacteria the changes are permanent.
Yeah.
So again, our own CDC here in America has told us that 30% of the antibiotic prescriptions written in America are unnecessary. That's a lot of antibiotics.
Doctor, there's so much in here, and this challenge is available, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't got time to talk about all of it, but this is a book you ought to read. And if you want to scare the daylights out of yourself, read it. And if you want to get healthy, read it. How much weight? Somebody's fat, they lose 20 pounds in a month, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 10 pounds.
Well, the heavier you are, the more you're going to lose on the front end.
All right.
But the big number that I'm hoping you'll talk about over the next 2 months is going to be the aggregate weight loss amongst our tens of thousands of participants.
Maybe it should be millions of pounds.
I think we're looking at tons of weight, literally tons of weight. You're going to be able to talk about that.
Okay. Well, Doctor, the book is called The Green Brain Whole Life Plan. It's fascinating. And this whole thing about gluten and all this, think what you eat. You eat donuts, you eat colors, you eat sticky buns, you eat, on and on and on, and it's killing you. And now, diet drinks. How about stevia? I like stevia. Stevia's okay, isn't it?
There hasn't been a lot of data that's talked about the dangers of stevia, but my mission here is to try to get people away from their sense of catering to their sweet tooth.
Okay.
Because, there is hidden sugar. A glass of orange juice, a 12-ounce glass of orange juice, has 9 teaspoons of sugar. And here we think that that's a great drink for breakfast. So, our mission is to really let people know where it's coming from.
You'll get Shape Up, 8-week Shape Up for Summer Challenge begins today. It ends on May the 31st, and it's absolutely free, and you can sign up and join hundreds of thousands of others, the Dr. Perlmutter's clients, customers, whatever they are, around the world. So, Doctor, thank you for being here.
It's always great to see you.
It's fun. All right. Terry, are you ready to shape up for